Imagine the sun has just disappeared below the horizon. Within minutes, the temperature begins to fall. You can't turn on a light. You can't cook food. You can't boil water. You can't scare away predators, because fire hasn't been discovered yet. And somehow, your species must survive another night. Most people think humans have always used fire. But that's not true. Our ancestors existed for well over 1 million years before they learned to control it. For countless generations, they lived exactly as every other animal did. When night arrived, they faced the same darkness, the same cold, and the same predators. Without fire, night was terrifying. Humans don't see well in the dark. Our hearing isn't exceptional. We aren't particularly fast. We don't have sharp claws or powerful jaws. When the sun disappeared, the advantage belonged to predators: lions, hyenas, leopards, giant cats. For early humans, surviving until sunrise was often the greatest challenge of the day. So, how did they survive? The answer wasn't strength. It was teamwork. Instead of sleeping alone, small groups stayed close together. More eyes meant more chances to notice danger. Adults protected children. Everyone listened for unusual sounds. If one person woke up, everyone woke up. Long before humans built cities, survival already depended on something remarkable: trust. But surviving the night was only half the battle. The next morning, they had another problem: food. Without fire, nothing could be cooked. Every meal had to be eaten raw. Raw roots, raw berries, raw insects, raw meat. Even chewing was exhausting. Early humans spent hours every day simply chewing their food. And hunting. That was even harder. Without metal weapons, without bows, without spears tipped with iron, early humans rarely chased large animals. Instead, they looked for opportunities. An injured animal, a trapped animal, or sometimes the leftovers another predator had already abandoned. Our ancestors weren't always hunters. Many were also scavengers. Stone tools changed everything. Around 3.3 million years ago, our ancestors began shaping sharp stones, not to build houses, not to make weapons, but to cut, to slice through animal skin, to crack open bones, because inside those bones was something incredibly valuable: bone marrow, rich in fat, packed with energy, one of the most nutritious foods available anywhere. While larger predators ignored the bones, humans learned they were hiding the best meal. Then, everything changed. Somewhere, hundreds of thousands of years ago, humans learned to control fire. And overnight, food changed forever. Cooking made meat softer. Roots became easier to digest. Dangerous bacteria were destroyed. Our bodies needed less energy to chew, and more energy became available for something else: our brains. Many scientists believe mastering fire helped make us human. Fire didn't just help humans survive. It completely changed what it meant to be human. For the first time, night was no longer the enemy. Predators stayed away. Families could remain awake long after sunset. The day became longer, and with those extra hours, something extraordinary began to happen. People talked, they taught, they planned. Around the fire, the first stories were born. Imagine learning how to hunt without books. Imagine discovering which plants were poisonous without writing. Every generation passed its knowledge by speaking. The campfire became humanity's very first classroom. Every lesson, every warning, every survival trick was shared face to face. Without fire, human knowledge may never have survived long enough to build civilizations. Eventually, those campfires became villages. Villages became cities. Cities became civilizations. Every modern invention, every skyscraper, every airplane, every computer, and every spacecraft can trace its story back to one small flame: the moment humans learned to control fire. The next time you light a candle, cook a meal, or sit beside a warm fire, remember, there was a time when none of it existed. For millions of years, our ancestors survived in darkness. Not because they were stronger than every animal, but because they adapted. They worked together. They learned. And when they finally mastered fire, they changed the future forever. Because without that first flame, there would be no civilization, no modern world, and no us. Every discovery has a story, and every story begins with a question. Subscribe to Curious Theory, where curiosity becomes knowledge. Until next time, stay curious.